Is that what you were waiting for?
Yes. All right. So collective reading, everybody. This week there's a full moon in Pisces. So this is quite contrary, right? So we've got the Virgo Sun, the Virgo Mercury, all about this reality. And I'll be honest, I said last week very deeply. I think when it was the peace dealer was here. It's like it might feel a little bit mundane or kind of blank-ish, just because of how much Earth there's been. And, you know, the magic of a full moon in Pisces is like the magic at Disneyland that just shows up out of nowhere. But this is going to be a wake-up full moon. It's going to be exactly in aspecting exactly to Uranus and Taurus. 10 degrees of Pisces with the full moon, 10 degrees of the sun being in Virgo, and exactly at 10 degrees Taurus, we're seeing Uranus here in retrograde. So this week, with this full moon, you know, it's going to bring magic relationship-wise, but if it doesn't fit the reality, you know, you gotta be careful about that. So I would say that we're releasing the delusions of what's not working in reality, and that opens up for the magic of what's going to come. With Uranus here, it's like we need to advance into a better life. Now, with the retrograde, it's like it feels karmic, and this deals with people, Uranus. Remember that Uranus is the planet of people. So definitely going to be dealing with a lot with people. And Venus, the planet of relationships, is in Cancer, opposing Saturn the exact moment of this full moon. So this is an extreme like decision, karmic, you know, you have to make a choice here of where you're sitting emotionally in relationships. What's lacking? Because with Saturn there, it's going to be like, okay, you want those good feelings, Venus in Cancer, to feel good in your physical life? Well, is it in alignment with your destiny? Is it in alignment with your purpose? Is it alignment with what makes you feel like you're going to grow bigger? It also looks at your character. So this is a very character building full moon. Not to mention Mars, which is still in Aries, which is squaring Saturn. That means Venus squares Mars this week. Now this is hot and heavy because after this full moon comes, there's going to be an awakening of like, holy shit, this is what needs to go and this is what magic needs to come in. Because things can look like magic, but not be magic.
Like fool's gold.
Like fool's gold, or, you know, you were wearing like, it's like beer goggles too, right? Like people can have beer goggles about certain situations or have been wearing the beer goggles for years. And it's like, this time it's like Uranus is saying, no. I want the quality. It's about quality. And Venus and Saturn, they want quality too. And with Venus and Mars though, with Mars and Aries pushing that, you know, Venus in Cancer, even though Mars has stopped, getting ready for its retrograde next week, by the way. Oh gosh, so we got to make some changes now because Mars retrograde for the 3 months sucks. You know, when you try to take action, it's like limp. You have to get that cup thing you're using over there, but we all know what you're really doing with that thing. You know what I mean? Like
pump it up. Pump it up.
So with Venus and Mars in square, it's passionate as hell. It's emotionally passionate, but it also is the passion of like, this is not what I want emotionally, and this is what is, and there has to be direct action taken, and there's pressure about it. Because even though we might care about the emotions of people and so forth, we also need to make sure that we're putting ourselves first, and that's what's hard. It's like if you're not getting the physical emotion that you need in the reality of a relationship or a project, but this is a love show, so we're just talking love here. If you're not getting that with Mercury heading out of Virgo, that's going to come into Libra by the end of this week, you're going to get to the end of this week and be like, did I just, like, this huge moment happens Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of like full moon, you know, Mars, Venus opposed Saturn, and then Mercury comes into Libra to try and weigh like out, like, am I in an exciting and happy place of beauty, or is this just like I'm in the worst courtroom of my life and I'm on trial trying to defend something that I continue to stay in delusion of, or I am in the beauty of that and starting to figure that out. But one thing too is Venus is moving into Leo. Woo! And I know, I'm a Leo, so of course I'm going to be, and I was born with Venus and Leo, so, you know, I'm a Venus Leo guy, you know, I'm going to be honest. This is going to be the sweet nectar that's been waiting to come for us here. Remember, Venus has been stopped for a long time. Venus went into Gemini and stopped there for months. At the end of March, at the beginning of April, Mars went into Gemini, or Venus went into Gemini, and then it sat there, went retrograde through May into June, right? And then it just sat there all the way, and then it finally came into Cancer here about a month ago, and it's like, it's been this long deal, and the Sun and Mercury already went through Leo, so this Venus in Leo is like setting the real tone of the happy, positive, the love vibes, and with Mercury and Libra at the same time, that's Mercury in the relationship sign, right? So this is about trying to find the stimulating love aspects, but that comes this weekend. So it's like how you play this full moon determines how things are going to go in your love life, to hell or beautiful, amazing, wow. All based off whether you're ready for magic. And so this is a surrendering full moon, because a full moon in Pisces is surrendering to spiritual truth. Now that might be surrendering something literally, like this is not good for you in reality, or I'm finally surrendering that I've been playing the reality in the game card or the rule card too much and not letting any magic in. You know, with magic, you need to be able to be magical. And if something isn't magical, it's going to be very clear and it's going to feel like you're stuck, especially with Mars square Saturn and Venus opposed Saturn. How funny. Venus is getting aspected in negative aspects by the two malefics. So basically, Maleficent, if if she was to show up, she's throwing her curses on not just Aurora. I don't know. Some people might not know Sleeping Beauty, but she's throwing her curses on all she's got out of the bag here to make sure it's like real or not, So, and also for singles out there, it's like, things need to change. That's the other thing, is things need to change. This is where it's gotten really stagnant in life. It's gotten very bland. It's gotten very, white rice with no fixins, not even soy sauce, not even the good, the low sodium shit. Like, we're talking just like, so this magic is here to drench us in spiritual goodness, and we have to follow that. And there's a lot of other things that I could just go on for hours, but of course I'll go deeper into that with deep astrology. But for love-wise, are you ready for that magic, or are you just going to continue to hold yourself back? Mercury trining Saturn, so it's like you can see clearly, and Mercury and Venus actually make a nice sextile. So the only way through this beautiful transit, or completely, I would say, because I'll be honest, it can feel like you're really stuck, would be stimulation, curiosity. Remember, the North Node is still in Gemini and it's in sextile to Mars. So it's like curiosity, in this case, brings what you need. It's not going to kill the cat. And you could be getting lots of purrs by this weekend, or feeling like, what the hell? I am not a happy queen or king. Let's see what the cards have to say. All right, the Three of Pentacles in reverse. Oh, okay. Things that we have been building in the past, I would say are, the realization that, okay, that didn't work, but we gained a lot of knowledge. Three of Pentacles is always about building a sculpture, something great. In a love reading, it's definitely like we're removing ourselves from the way that we've been building things. But also currently, this would also mean that if all these working parts in a relationship aren't working, and especially if you're even single and you're expecting the sculpture to look a certain way, I would say that it's like, you have to redraw the plans here. This is people redrawing their plans and what relationships are going to look like in their life, and making sure that we actually have a sculpture, or it's like kind of like one of those like ice sculptures, but you like made it at like 11 a.m. and it's in the middle of the sun and the party's at 6 p.m. Like, the thing's like not going to be an ice sculpture at the end of the day. So it's like, you got to be aware of that. You need to be real. What needs to change when it comes to how you're, and also the kind of people that you're around has a lot to do with how relationships can be built great, so you got to look at the friends, you got to look at the people around and see if sometimes this calls out people who say they can build things when they really won't. So beware, especially women, beware of scrubs, and even men can beware of women that are scrubs, right? Say they got all this shit and they really don't. The challenge that we got is the devil. Wow. Woo, I felt that whole beware of the scrubs with a false mask on. Definitely some masking going on here of what people saying they can build, or the denial of you realizing that you're putting on a mask thinking it's some great thing when it's really not. But, I think that it's pretty easy to see through this right now. We're going to get much clearer to see what. We did get the Hierophant card in reversed overall. Yeah, we're changing up, especially this kind of loyal structure to the way that we were on the path of how relationships should be. It's almost like the loyalty in many cases, or this kind of traditional aspect we want to throw that out the window. I would say the challenge, though, is like to not try and do something that is inauthentic to yourself. If anything, it's about getting out of the inauthentic vibes that we kind of became loyal to. We kind of became loyal to our inauthentic self. And I would say that we're coming into a much more beautiful place, but we have to, make sure that we're not with the masks and be the mask as well. Let's see that shadow that we got. We got blinded to pain. With the devil. I'd say it's like, there's been this pain of this false, illusion that we're almost addicted to, right? Because there is that devil card that can get chained. So we've been chained to like feeling pain about situations that we almost are getting numb to. And that's what needs to end, is like, stop taking the Novocaine. Like, pull the chains off of the situations that don't feel good in your life right now. It's going to help you out a lot. With that 3 of Pentacles in reverse, we did get the Fool reverse. So it's like, don't be stupid anymore if things are not building into the most beautiful thing you've ever wanted to. And sculptures are something that we identify as like, that's beautiful. Like I can say, when I look behind me right now, the set fucking looks good. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, woo, set looks good, baby. So, like that, even one of my nights here looks great. But if it's like, if this thing was all like, it looked like I was in my closet and I had like dirty clothes hanging out the back. It's like, oh no, this is a beautiful set. It's kind of like, oh God. So this is where, whether you're single or in relationships, what situations just look like a closet full of crap and you think it's going to go good? So don't be dumb. And also don't be harsh or too critical on yourself. Like, I feel so stupid I did that. It's like, turn that into something beautiful this week. Like, I feel like we're turning a bunch of our past stupid mistakes of what we thought we were building and getting rid of so many of the things that we got chained to that was just like, what the fuck? This is not who I am. Why did we get that Hierophant card there? We got the King of Pentacles upright. So yeah, you know what? We're actually disconnecting from things that were not of full quality, not of our ability to manifest the great things in our life and to feel confident in that too. I just wanted to pull one more and I pulled the Sag card. So this is about us overall. I would just say today I'm going to do this. It's about opening new doors, exploring new territory and believing in what we really want is possible. And if we're not able to do that, well, especially with this last week of Jupiter retrograde, like I would say, you're going to miss out on a lot. Like Jupiter retrograde in Capricorn is I have that. I was born with that alignment. When you make the biggest decisions of your life and you take the biggest risks, you get all the fortune. Oh, I almost forgot. I feel like we haven't done this show in 8 years. 4th house, Pisces, Sun and Pisces in the 4th house. Oh, we have definitely a lot of emotions that were blinded by the light. Revved up like a deuce. So I would say that we're getting rid of all this energy within ourselves that we have been blinded emotionally in this weird, like, we thought this was cool emotionally, but we almost knew it wasn't. We almost could turn people emotionally into characters that they're not. It's like, kind of like putting a bunch of makeup on them or, gosh, I could say so many things that would trigger people. I triggered enough Virgos last week, so I'm going to try my best not to trigger. And I'm not trying to pick out any sign right now. I'm just saying that, when I use the beer goggles reference, you can almost, with sun 4th house Pisces, just kind of get too comfortable in the delusion and that you think is a dream, but it's like you're too emotionally invested. And I would say that this is about surrendering to allow the true magical emotional place that you really want to go and know that that looks like the godly energy that you intuitively in your soul feel. It's soul emotional level here, not you trying to morph emotionally some dream that's not really there. Like, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's not about just implementing change just for the fact of changing. Like, this needs to be a change that you actually feel within yourself. You know, with that king card, it's like he knows exactly what it is that he wants, and he knows that he's going to go and do it. You know, he's not just going to get swayed by an outside, point of view or an individual telling him, that whispering in his ear. You know, if you really feel it, make that change. You know, if you're on the fence about it, think about it. But if it needs to be done, you need to put action into that. You need to put that energy behind it and actually progress forward. You know, do you want to implement that change? Are you capable and are you worthy? Are you going to be able to handle it? You know, these are all things you need to ask yourself as well. Why are you going to put these changes forward into your life, and really go for them if it does make sense? Listen to spirit, as they say.
I was going to say, if you know you feel it, right?
Yeah. Are you ready to see it?
Are you ready to see it? That's actually our slogan here at highvibe.tv. So that was an interesting collective reading we got there.